Hello and welcome. This is Mouse Gunner, and we're back with some more The Long Journey Home. And I think we've finished up everything we need to do in this system. Let's just take a look at our mission report and see what we have going. So we have Tomb Raider. One of the artifacts that the Kutast are looking for may be in this sector. So far, we've learned the system has 3 planets. Okay. So we're looking for a system that has 3 planets that may have an artifact that the Kutast are looking for. We also have the possible location of one of the aliens that we've encountered so far, Starport and Gate. So far, the only aliens we've encountered are the Kutast and the Litsa, so I'm not sure which one we'll see. We can go ahead and take a look at the galaxy view and see from there where we're going to want to go. So we know the Kutast are here, and we know the Elitza are in a couple different systems, so we have 2 gates going out of the system. All right, but we want to be in this sector, so we're looking for 3 planets in a system. So far, none of the systems we've been to qualify. Neither do any of these systems that we could currently jump to. That has more than 3. That has 4, 2, 3. Okay, so this is a good candidate. Yeah, there's not that many. I mean, this may qualify, but it looks like this is a good candidate for where we're looking. That's only 2. That could qualify too, again, depending on whether or not they count gas giants. That could count. Okay, well, looks like most of the ones that may be good candidates are over this way. And then, of course, we have this system here. So the best jump, I'm not actually sure if that one system will be in range if I jump here, so it might be wiser to jump here to the black hole and then plan on jumping over to this system, just because it is a candidate and it would be on the way. Black hole may be tricky though, but so far we're doing pretty well. Let's see. Our resources, from what I recall, are fairly good. We at least have a little bit of every resource. I would say the main thing is gas. We don't have a lot of gas. Now, we don't need it necessarily, but we only have mostly the hydrogen we started the game with, plus a couple extra. We have some copper that we started the game with, and then we have plenty of exotic matter. So I think we're pretty good there. I would say the main concern is hydrogen gas, and I didn't necessarily see any along the way, but I must admit I was not looking for that. All right, with all that being said, let's go ahead and get out of this system. We've already explored here pretty extensively. Did the mission that we were here to do. Ooh. Okay, so more tutorial stuff. It's actually interrupted my jump, unfortunately, so pretty much what that tutorial was letting me know is if you get too far on the outside edge of the system, you're going to start encountering things you don't want to encounter, and it's dangerous, so don't do that. We might have actually been taking damage there. I'm not exactly sure as a result of that. But we're going to jump over to the black hole. There is some helium and hydrogen gas, although it may be on the gas giant that we may not be able to land on, so we'll have to see. But at least there is a group of asteroids we'll be able to encounter. And again, we have to worry about the black hole, which I'm going to immediately start trying to thrust away from, as radiation is pretty high. It's going to burn a lot of fuel trying to do. But I'm hoping this will get us away. We could always just jump right out of the system, too. Radiation warning remains high. May want to just jump out. Yeah, you know what? I'm just going to jump out. We're getting hit by radiation constantly. And that was doing damage to our ship, and could have been doing damage to our crew if I stuck around too much longer. So I think it's very wise that we jumped out. I didn't really pay attention to... I think it does tell you... radiation. Oh, no, it says normal radiation. But the black hole itself may have been a problem. Or is that just the nebula has normal radiation? Alright, well, either way we look at it, and we need to move on. I would have liked to have gotten either hydrogen or helium there, but we are taking constant radiation damage. So, oh, there's actually 3 planets here, too. And... I mean, if we don't count the asteroids, and we do have helium and hydrogen possible. But let's go ahead and jump here, because we could get borates if anything doesn't turn out to be a hit. And, you know, 3 planets, we might as well check it out. This will be a smaller star, so I'm hoping something more we could deal with. Okay. I'll just kind of let us go on a natural course for now. And I do think it's a good idea to refill our exotic materials. Is it borates that we had in this system? I believe it was. I can double check that. Yeah, alright, so we're already possibly going to get more borates. Granted, these planets may be too big. We'll have to see. Alright, so with that being said, I think we use the silicates to refuel our exotic matter tank. We also took a fair amount of damage. I may want to repair that with the magnesium. Alright, so we have quite a few cargo slots now available. Alright, and I'm just going to let us rotate around. I'm not going to burn any fuel. And we'll see where we end up. Right now, we're more or less going along the orbit line of this one planet, although the star is going to start sucking us in. I'm going to have to correct a little bit for that as we go. We do have a ship on its way, and it looks like... Oh, no, it must have jumped out. Looked like it was headed right for us, but... Alright, so this is going to be a little bit of a long trip, but I don't want to unnecessarily waste fuel. Uh-oh. Can't remember her name, but she looks like she might want to turn to piracy. Alright, we're coming back around and getting pulled quite a bit here. Now these planets look like they're sizable. We'll have to see what the gravity is. I think the one we're headed to is the smallest of the 3. And this is where we see if our random chance is kind to us here. Okay, so we're going too fast according to this. A lock in. Looks like we're gonna get it. Oh, we're going too fast, slow. Aha. Okay, now we're okay. Alright, saying high risk because of temperature. All that's on here is iron. I don't think that's worth it because we're gonna do damage to our lander even trying to do it. And more than likely will hurt our crew. So, gravity is low though, so that's not too bad. Okay. In this case, I actually want the star to pull me a little bit because we're going to want to loop in here and start heading towards this planet. And now seemingly a pretty big gravity well here, so I'm not exactly sure the size of this planet. Looks like we may need to redirect and try and slow ourselves down. This may do it. Okay. Again, very high temperatures here, iron and aluminum. I don't know if that's really worth the risk. So far, all we've been doing is burning fuel here. I mean, maybe I could have been able to tell that just from the planet type that it was going to be hot like that. And we don't have a way to deal with hot temperatures, so... Okay. Well, at least I looked. But with gravity, I could have done something, you know, to counter it. I could have just known that I had to deal with higher gravity, and as long as it's not too outrageous, I'd be able to handle it. But with temperatures, I'm going to get damage to the craft regardless, and the only way I'd have a real successful mission is if I did just, you know, kind of a hit and run go at it. All right, I'm hoping that this trajectory is going to get us possibly a decent orbit, as we're starting to see the gravity well come in now. And again, this is where I thought I really wish the right thumbstick would let me be able to look around a little bit so I could see where my trajectory was going and adjust for it ahead of time. That's one of the things that's kind of frustrating about this game, is you've got all these really strong gravity wells, but you can't really plan for them in advance because you have no real good view of what's ahead of you. So I'm like, oh, okay, this looks like I'm close enough, but then I'm just a little bit off, and because of the way the gravity wells work, I get, you know, yanked in with a lot of force, and then I have to drastically slow down and, like, try and wildly shift my course at the last second, because it's not until the last second that I actually see what's coming. All right, well, fortunately, we have a lot of resources on this last planet, the resources we're very much looking for. So, mission is harmless. Looks like we're good to go. I don't recall who I have running my lander missions. It looks like Malcolm still. That's fine. Let's go ahead and land. And as far as I know, the right stick doesn't do anything else, so... Seems like a, you know, an easy thing to do, or to implement, if they want us to be using controllers. Okay. It's like... Be able to land here in just a second. And down. Hopefully we can get a good amount of these borates. Alright, 3 is probably good. And then we'll pick up the metals too, just because I think we have some repairs that need doing. Alright, there's not going to be a lot of aluminum here. I might just grab one. Yeah, that's good enough for me. Any more than that, I think we would have taken damage. And by the way, this is on more forgiving resource and mining settings. So if this was a more difficult game, I would have for sure taken damage just to get that one bit of aluminum. So... And 2 bits of copper, I think will probably max us out on the copper. So again, we're in the danger zone. So that wasn't a bad run, but just keep in mind, if we were playing the difficulties that were around before this change was made, we wouldn't have got nearly as much, and I would have more than likely taken damage. Okay. And considering that this was the only planet in the system that I could land on, didn't really work out. And you know, one thing I didn't pay attention to, though, when I was in the orbit of those 2 planets was to see if there was anything on the surface. Probably should have done that. But, oh well. Let's go ahead and go to the aluminum. And do we repair the lander of the ship? I think we hold off for now. I think we just get out of here. I don't think we found what we were looking for, but again, I may not have been paying attention to the structures in that last planet, and if I miss something, I'll feel bad about it, but I'm not going to waste the resources to go back just to double check. I'm fairly certain I was looking on the first planet. The second planet, I just looked and saw the risk, and I said, nah, never mind about that. Okay. So this could be a candidate here. It does have the 3 planets, unless the asteroids are figured into that, which they may or may not be. I figure we go ahead and jump over here because we've got a number of good resources that we're looking for. And then from there, this could qualify, as the gas giant does technically count as a planet. And we'll work our way back up because we have a couple systems around up here that could qualify as well. So let's start here. And it does look like there's some Kudhast presence here, although I don't know of what type. Could be on a planet. Because I didn't see anything indicating a station. Usually that's indicated on the system map. Okay, we do have a objective very close to the star. I think I'm going to let ourselves get pulled around here, but getting to that objective is going to be extremely difficult. There's a distress signal, okay. Well, again, I'm just going to let us get pulled around here. We will get close to there naturally. I hope it's not a timed thing. So this is where the star is going to start pulling us in. I may have to course correct so that we don't end up just going straight into the star. Which it looks like it's now pulling us in. We're going to be going very fast, though, so this is going to be tricky. As the star is pulling us in very hard, I'm going to start slowing us down, which is only going to make us go into the star harder, but... Ah, okay, see it? We should have an intercept. Okay. We'll have to see what this distress signal is. I'm assuming it's a distress signal. Okay, incoming call. Okay, Dreg Slave. Dregs. New race added to the database. Okay. Out of fuel. Mistress will be furious. Beg a little. Have a tank? Have tank to spare, please? I don't. He's looking for a small fuel tank I don't have. Sorry. Oh no. What of your tank? Any fuel? 19.8% of your tank, maybe. Enough to get home? I'll give it to him. Endless thanks. Enough. We'll get home now. May mistresses bless you. Okay. So we got an Elitsia gate pass, which is good because normally you have to pay money for that, but we did have to burn a good amount of our fuel for that. Well, I think that was still worth it because you have to pay to use the gate. Well, now we know which gate we're going to more than likely want to use because I'm assuming the gate pass is... Holy crap, it's having us go right into the star. That is exactly what I mean by the bullcrap with the encounters. I was in no way going in that trajectory. And this is just one of the things on the list of things that is absolutely wrong with this game. I cannot believe that nonsense. It literally pulled me right into the star, and there was nothing I could do about that. I was trying to burn as hard as I could. So we just took damage to our ship and damage to our crew. Damage to our crew being the more significant thing because there is very little ability to take care of things like that. So right now I have a burn on Kirsten Barrasso, and the only way I have to alleviate that is by using our medical kit, which is a one-use item, and I will not be able to use that again. So I just want to point out my displeasure with that. That is just really bad game design, and that needs to be fixed. Now, the one plus point maybe out of that is that we got a bunch of exotic material, but not the way I had intended to. And on top of that, we're on the easier difficulty. If that would have been adventure or rogue mode, we would have had much more catastrophic damage. So I just want to point out that it's flaws like that in the game that are the reason why this game is hard to recommend to people, especially at the price point that this game's being asked for. You know, and that's kind of my opinion on the game. All right, so I am going to be using this aluminum to repair our ship a little bit. Okay, so this is deadly because of extreme gravity and inferno temperature. Unfortunately, that is the place where we would get our fuel, the helium and the hydrogen, so that's not going to work out in our favor. I am going to start moving now. And we'll try and go over to the other planet. So that's kind of the thing with encounters. Just hope that they are nowhere near anything that could be dangerous, because you never really know how it's going to spit you out of it, because it will never spit you out of it in a logical way. It won't go, okay, what was his course coming into the encounter? Oh, it was away from the star? Let's keep him with that encounter. No, instead it goes, how about I dumped him directly into the star so he eats it? Oh. Thought I was going to crash there, but we did manage to lock in. All right. So another high-risk planet because of violent convection. Otherwise, we've got average gravity, and the temperature's not really worth worrying about. Now, again, I'm not positive on this, but I think convection is the winds. It may be worth going down anyway. Just because if I can get down there fast enough before the wind really affects, I can anchor myself down with the reverse thrust. So yeah, I think I can pull it off. If I can't, if it looks like it's dangerous, I'll just go straight up. Wind's not going to affect that. So let's try for it. Oh, we do also have a landing point. Okay, well, we'll take care of the carbonates as our main concern. Yeah, I have to get here quick before the wind picks up, which it already has done. Okay, I guess I'm not going there. All right, we'll go to this location. Ideally, we'd want an archaeologist going here, but okay, we can visit. Okay, we're at the city. Welcome to our mission. How may we help you're seeking? Please follow all accepted legal and moral regulations. Okay, so this is the Kudhast. We're going to go to services. First, starting at the shipyard. We do have a fair amount of money here. So, helps protect lander during earthquakes. Protects lander and pilot while on high temperature planets. That's going to be the most valuable thing that we can buy, and we will buy that. And then shock absorber, I'm not really sure. Mostly because it only affects earthquakes, which are not particularly frequent. So we'll back off from that. As far as repairs, we can repair the lander hull, which I don't think is that big of a deal. Shop. Well, we could get something that repairs damage. Covers the whole body and nanofiber for advanced healing. This is specifically for broken limbs and ribs, apparently. And then this looks like it has a similar effect to the white pill that we have. Alright, well, I don't know if I want to buy any of this stuff because it's not something we necessarily need. As much as a regenerative implant seems like it's super powerful, it's 220, which is very expensive. Repairs, we already looked at. Restock. Not really interested. Now, if this was a a spaceport, we could buy things that would help our ship, but unfortunately, because it's a city, we can only buy things that affect our lander. All right, we'll ask them for work. You would volunteer. As you may know, we have no physical form. Energy, lightning, we require these encounter suits to be around you. Bad things happen otherwise. Bad things for you organics. On our worlds, we construct new shells. Can you deliver them to the heralds aboard our starports? They must go forth. Spread the word. Alright, we'll ask them about that. Of course, take our shells. We will take them to the heralds of any starport. They will ensure they are distributed according to need and request. So that looks pretty good. We have another mission, and it's a mission that we, I think, will have not a hard time really doing. I think we just leave now. I don't have anything else that we need to do. Meier seeking lead to truth. All right, let's just go straight up. Interestingly enough, the wind just stopped. You know, might be able to plan for the wind. So if it starts up again, we know which direction it's going to go in. Why don't we just go in that direction? So if it starts, all we have to worry about is fighting it. And right now, it's not going at all. So if I can be quick, we might be able to get this mining taken care of. Although it is, I think, starting. And it may be going in the opposite direction it was before, so that sucks. We're close enough. No, it is going in the direction it was going before. Alright, a little bit of damage there. Okay. Oh! Crap. I forgot about that. You shouldn't mine on a planet that has... Ah, crap. Alright, yeah, you shouldn't mine on a planet that has a city on it. I wasn't thinking. It's very easy to forget about that kind of stuff. Now, the upside is we just got a means to use our lander on hotter planets, which should really help quite a bit. So, minus 50% heat damage protects lander and pilot while on high-temperature planets. I don't know if that's necessarily going to make the temperatures go away, though. Okay. Well, I think this is a good point to go ahead and put a cut in the video, so I hope you guys have enjoyed. This is Mouse Gunner, signing out.